Good afternoon. Welcome to this week's short and sweet edition of the Risk Safeguard Advantage podcast. I know how busy everyone is, so I'm going to keep it short today, but why is it sweet? It's sweet because last night the New York Rangers, after being down in the series 3-1, down in the game 3-2, only a few minutes left to play, Rangers came back and beat the Pittsburgh Penguins in Game 7 overtime. And as a lifelong New York Rangers fan, I think that's pretty sweet. But it's also inspirational. And I wanted to share that story, not just to be proud of my team, but to offer some inspiration to those of you who are feeling down and out right now. I'm talking to the business owners and managers and leaders right now. It is tough. It's tough to run your business. It's tough to make your customers happy right now. You have labor shortages, you have supply chain challenges, you have inflationary issues, you have government, you have insurance, blah, blah, blah. Nothing feels easy right now. So I wanted to keep today short, knowing that you are very busy, but I wanted to give you some important data points to think about and how you maybe can turn some of these disadvantages into an advantage for you and your company. 78% of human resource managers said that the Great Resignation had an impact on their company. And when polling workers who were departing their jobs to leave for other jobs or just to leave their current job, 66% said one of the main reasons was for better health care or better health insurance benefits options. To show you where priorities are these days and how people are thinking, that was 66% respondents. Only 50% of respondents said they were leaving for more money. So there's a 16% delta there between health insurance, health care, and pay. And when I think about that versus the other surveys we're seeing right now, which is 1 in 4 employees thinks their boss doesn't care about them and that they don't feel their employer is engaging with them, there's a lot that's within our control that maybe we are just too busy to think about on the day-to-day. So here's a few more data points for you to think about and how you can potentially engage your employees. Travelers just released a study that says 35% of all workplace injuries happen to employees who are less than 1 year on the job. So if you're hiring new people to replace people who have either resigned or retired in your workforce, are you acknowledging this statistic and fact with them and showing them that you care about their safety and their well-being and their need to go home at the end of the night to their loved ones who they provide for? In addition to new hires, I've cited other studies in previous podcasts, but I'm going to do it here because it makes sense that 40 workers who've been exposed to a moderate amount of stress are 40% more likely to have a workplace accident. So if you now have two populations, 35% of injuries, 40% more likely, both tied to safety, do you think those are areas that are wise to start engaging with your workforce? And what do we mean by engagement? Well, one of Gallup's studies shows that someone who receives daily feedback from their manager is 3 times more likely to feel that they were engaged by their employer than somebody who's not receiving daily feedback. We overlay that against the world we live in. We see the stock market tanking. We see addictions and suicides on the rise. We see a lot of horrific news titles of acts of violence throughout our country. People are concerned right now, and people are tired and stressed out. How are we engaging our workforce about the subjects of wellness, mental health, and well-being? Are you talking to them about financial wellness, knowing that they're probably looking at their retirement savings or any savings they have in the stock market going down right now? Are you talking to them about the importance of taking care of themselves? You know, the initial statistic I shared about health insurance being a primary reason, how many employees are healthcare literate and know what their health insurance covers them for? As a byproduct of healthcare reform, all health insurance has to provide no charge annual physical coverage to the employee. Are you encouraging your employees to utilize that benefit? By doing so, you might be engaging them and showing them that you care about their well-being. And you'll have to figure out for your own organizations and your own management teams what engagement on these subjects looks like. But these are all areas right now that I can tell you that a lot of employers are just not willing to the task of dealing with them. They're too busy focused on the day-to-day needs of the business. So if you are struggling with turning over workforce and losing folks, I'm going to leave you with this last statistic because this is important to understand. Employees who feel they are engaged by their employer and or their manager require a 20% or more financial raise in order to leave those work environments. That's all today. Let's go Rangers. Have a good week. Find inspiration in their success. Find inspiration elsewhere, but stay inspired. Keep your chin up. Better days are ahead. Have a great week. Take care. Be well.